Alright, time for another math easy solution. Here to discuss another problems plus example. Problems plus some difficult examples in my calculus book at the end of each chapter. Just want to go through this one here. This was a pretty interesting one. Just basically solve this inequality. Absolute value of x minus 3 plus absolute value of x plus 2 is less than 11. So basically solving this. This one is pretty tricky here, but first thing is to just recall what the absolute value definition is. So yeah, basically the definition of absolute value, you can see a video link below for more info on this, but basically absolute value of x just equals to x if x is greater than or equal to 0, and it's equal to negative x if x is less than 0, or so it's always positive here. So to solve this, we have to first find out what cases we could actually apply these to, and to do that we have to basically break down both of these two functions in terms of something like this here. So we'll write down the first one here. So absolute value of x minus 3, this just equals to, with this above formation, this is going to be equals to x minus 3, or positive if x is or if x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0 here. And it's also then it's going to equal to negative x. We just put a negative on. This is going to be positive. This is if x minus 3 is going to be less than 0. So if this is greater than 0, you're just going to have it without any negative sign. If this x minus 3 is less than 0, then you're going to have to put a negative here. And this is like that. And then this one, you can simplify this further. Just this will just equal to. So yeah, I just wrote this down. I just want to solve these. So this one, you can put the 3 on the right side. So this will be x is greater than or equal to 3 here. And this one here, solving this, put the 3 on the negative 3 on the right side. We're going to have x is less than 3 here. So we have two cases. So if x is greater than or equal to 3, you're going to have just regular positive. If it's less than 3, you're going to have this one here. So now let's do the same thing for the x plus 2 absolute value. I mean 2, not a 3. So this just equals to the same thing as above. X plus 2 if x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0, and it's going to be negative x negative 2, just put a negative on there, if x plus 2 is going to be less than 0. And then simplifying this further, so just write that down. Simplifying these further, put this on the right side. We're going to have x is greater than or equal to negative 2, and this one here, x is less than negative 2 here. Yeah, so we have these 4 cases. So what we have to do is just find out, like, solve the inequality based on these 4 cases. Well, this one, we could put these down actually in 3. So we look at this one, x is greater than or equal to 3. That's one of them, so that's one of the cases. So yeah, we have to basically solve the inequality based on above cases, so these 4 cases, etc. So this one here, we're going to have this one's x is greater than or equal to 3. So that's one case. And now this one here, x is less than 3. And we could actually combine these ones here. So yeah, we can combine this x is less than 3 with this x is greater than negative 2. So we could write that second case as x is greater than or equal to negative 2, and it's less than so less than 3 here. So we have so that you could just combine them into one instead of having 2 separate, because it just looks like that. So now, and then the last one, this one we have x is less than negative 2 here. So we have these 3 cases. We combined these two as one, and now we have these 3 cases here. So now we have to solve them for each case. We'll call this 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, so if we solve for case 1, so we have to solve this this equation, this inequality, based on this first one here, where x is greater than or equal to 3. So when x is greater than or equal to 3, the x minus 3 absolute values is going to be positive here. So we're just going to write that down. This is going to be exactly like this. So there's no absolute value sign. We get rid of it. That's the whole point of these cases, to get rid of that absolute value sign. And then for this one here, when we look at this, if x is greater than 3, then that also applies to this one here. So this x plus 2, because if x is greater than 3, then it's also going to be greater than negative 2. So we have to just put this plus 2. So we're going to have plus x plus 2 here. So now we have this function right here is going to be less than 11, so we just got rid of these absolute values. And now if we solve this, we're going to get 2x, combine the x's, combine these, negative 1, less than 11, move this to the right side, we're going to have 2x is less than 12, and then divide by 2, we're going to have x is less than 6. So we got, this is part of our answer. So now we'll look at the second case here. And the second case is x is greater than or equal to negative 2, and it's less than 3 here. So we have just to look at these again. What is it going to be? So it's less than 3, so we're going to have negative x plus 3. So we'll write that down, negative x plus 3. Now we have to find out what this value is. So it's in between. Remember, it's going to be greater than equal to negative 2. So it's going to be this one right here, x plus 2 here. So we're going to have plus x plus 2 is less than 11. Now, as you can see, these x's cancel. So this and this cancel out. So we're just going to be left with, and these ones add up. We're going to be left with 5 is less than 11. And this is true. 5 is less than 11. So, but we don't get any answer out of this. But this is just to make sure that our equation is true, so that's true. So now let's look at case 3. And case 3 is basically where x is less than negative 2. So we look at what values it is here. So if it's less than negative 2, it's going to be less than 3. So we're going to have this negative x plus 3, and it's also going to have this negative x negative 2 here. So everything's going to be on the negative side of the absolute value. So we're just going to write negative x plus 3, negative x minus 2 is less than 11. Add these up, so we're gonna have, let's drag this down here, negative 2x, this adds up to 1, plus 1 less than 11. So now we could move this to the right side. We're gonna negative 2x is less than 10 here, so minus on both sides, less than 10. Just move these around. You can't divide by negative. If you divide, you have to switch the sign, if you see my earlier video, but let's just move this around. So put this on this side and this on this side, so we're gonna have a negative 10 here is less than 2x. And now divide it out, we're gonna have, because the negative goes there, we add it. So divide it out, we're gonna have x is negative 5 here. So x is greater than negative 5 is part of our answer, and then the only other thing we got is x is less than 6. So that's our answer. So we get x is less than 6, greater than negative 5. So this is our answer. You can also write this in the interval form, open bracket, because it doesn't equal it, negative 5 and 6 here. You can see the video link for open intervals, etc., and what they are, and also more on absolute values. Well, that's all for today. Hopefully you'll learn from this pretty interesting example here. Yeah, this is pretty interesting in absolute values. Just make sure you can break it down, find the cases, how to solve that inequality. And remember, you can download these notes in the Dropbox link below. Hopefully you learn from this, and stay tuned for another math easy solution.